There is a gap once you get to the age of 22 to 25. So I'm already noticing this at the age of 20, but I know this is like the common sort of number because in 22 is when people usually leave university and start their long-term sort of career. But before that, everyone's just sort of going out doing all that kind of shit, right? So, but there is a gap, and what I mean by the gap is you see people who take their life seriously, eat healthy, build good habits, improve their mental health, focus on good quality relationships. They take the better path where they're not drinking every weekend. Instead, that they're living the boring life where they take themselves seriously. They put effort into themselves. They eat clean. They sleep well. They're not perfect, right? Like I'm on this path. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving constantly over time. I'm just in better positions, and I just keep getting better. Basically, I look better. I feel better. I get stronger. I get smarter. I'm going to be making more money. Like my business is going to be growing, basically. But then you've got the other path where people just they're careless when they're young because they just sort of they believe in this idea that you know these are your golden years. This is where you get to go out as much as you want. And then when you're older, you sit back and the rest of your life, you're just reminiscing about the past, right? This is the lie that these people have been sold, that the youth is the best time of the life, which in some ways it is. Like, obviously, you're going to have the most energy, all that kind of stuff. Like, you have the least amount of responsibilities, etc. But it's not the best. It's not when you're at your best because time compounds with your actions. Like your actions compound over time, and you become the result of the actions that you take. I've noticed this in myself just in the past 3 years since I started improving my life. Like 3 years ago, I was skinny. I was ugly, really. I had no confidence. I had no future plan. Like I was a college dropout working at McDonald's. I had nothing going for myself. I was not intelligent. I did not have any idea about business. Didn't know anything. I was depressed, all these kind of things, right? But I decided that I didn't want to stay at that point. I didn't want to then drink my sorrows away and ignore the fact that I was a piece of shit. Instead, I wanted to improve my life and do something with it. So I started learning, I started training, I started improving my diet, I started sleeping better, I started focusing on healthy relationships. I cut out like low quality people from my life that weren't going anywhere because why would I waste my time with people who just smoke weed all the time and drink? I have nothing in common with them people anymore. I wanted more for my life, and these people didn't. I didn't hate on them. I still don't. Like at the end of the day, we're all gonna die someday. It doesn't really matter what they choose to do with their life. But at the end of the day, you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. So it was like nothing personal. I just wanted more for myself. That was all. So, and then over time, I've improved. Like I look different now, but that's not really obviously the main benefit. That's just a side sort of bonus. I feel more confident. I'm no longer depressed. I have a plan for my life. Like I'm on track to getting to where I want to be. I'm more intelligent now because I've spent the last 3 years learning loads of different things. I'm stronger in the gym. And you can actually see that I go to the gym now. I don't know if you can in this shirt. I think you can. I don't know. Anyway, I go to the gym consistently now, and my body shows for it. I have healthy relationships now, and I'm just overall in a better place. But then I see people my age who I used to know back in like high school or I used to be friends with, and they have not improved. In fact, I saw someone recently, right, that it shocked me. I'm not going to say who it is, it doesn't matter. But basically, I remember when I was younger, I used to like, I positioned I saw him and I saw me and I was like, oh, I'm a piece of shit compared to him. Like I used to compare myself to everyone in high school, as everyone does in high school. and I always like consider myself like the lowest of the low. And now I look at people that I used to compare myself to, and it's like they've just fallen off. Like most people, you'll notice this, right? If you're younger than me, if you're like 16 now, you'll notice in 4 years, if you improve now, you'll see people who've done the opposite, who've just sort of gone with this mentality that youth is to be pissed away in bars and sleeping with random slags out of the clubs. Like that's not the goal of youth. Like the way I see it is, you have all this energy, this lack of responsibility. You have a lot more free time, and you have all this space to fail and therefore grow. You should maximize that, and you don't grow from just drinking every weekend and just working some shit job that you don't care about because it gives you the money that you can then go and drink. Like I work a shit job now, right? But I use that money to build a business. You got to think long term when you're young, which is something most people don't do because they're too focused on now, which is not a bad thing to focus. Let me word this correctly. It's not a bad thing to like think about now, right? Now is obviously important because the present moment is all we have, but you've got to use the present moment wisely with the future in mind. There's a lot of people, they go out drinking every weekend, and it's like, how does that contribute to a better future? I go drinking like 3 times a year, if that. I don't even have an ID, just for the purpose of the fact that it makes it so I can't drink as often as I want to, because I get cravings to go out because I know it'd be fun. But I'm more social now. I can speak to people now, whereas I never used to be. I used to be really like socially awkward, but I'm not really anymore. I could go out and enjoy myself, but then I just think like if I do that and I consistently do that, who would I become as a result of that? And it's not someone I want to be. Whereas if I spend my weekends, the job I work most weekends, so I don't really have like weekends like most people do. I just have days off. If I spend my days off going out, I'm not going to become someone I want to be. Whereas if I spend my weekdays off, or whatever I said, days off, working on a business, going to the gym, train, all this like good habits that compound into becoming a better person, then I'm going to appreciate myself more, because I'm going to look back and think, thank you, like older version of myself, like younger version of myself, for putting in the work that's allowed me to be who I am today. I'm grateful I started going to the gym however many years ago I started. Even though I was because I started going to the gym 4 years ago. I should have a way better physique than I do now, but I was so inconsistent back then. But in the past like 8 months, I've been really consistent, and now it's actually showing. Like I've only made progress really in the past 8 months. Like before that, I basically made no progress. It was like I didn't even go. I just looked skinny still. It was crazy. But yeah, the gap in people is scary, because it's brutal. It's unforgiving. Like these people, they look fat. They're unhealthy. What is my cat scratching to trying to come in my room? I'm just gonna ignore it. Anyway, they're in relationships with people that don't even respect them. They've probably still got the same friends who still do the same shit, and that feels fun when you're 20. But like I said, actions compound over time, and you always got to think like the actions you're taking consistently now. Who are they allowing you to become? You always got to keep that in mind. Now, you don't really feel this much when you're 18 or when you're 20. I'm only just seeing it a little bit now, but you will see it when you're 25. And I know I'm not 25 yet, but I know that's true because it's already true now. So imagine how much, like, these people are not making any better decisions now. They're going to still be making the same shit decisions for the next few years. So just imagine what it's going to look like when they're like 24, you know? So understand that there is a gap in people, in quality of people, and make sure you're on the better side of the gap. You don't want to be working the same shitty job until you're 25. You don't want to be overweight when you're 25 in some fucking relationship with a girl that doesn't even like you, who's literally flirting with every other guy. You don't want to be that person. I guarantee you do not want to be that person. With friends who just take the piss out of you all the time because you're a fucking joke. Even though they're also a joke too. You're just more of a joke than them. You don't want to be that person, man. So while you're young, put your time into things that bring you return on investment, ROI, right? Where you're going to put your time into it, you're going to put your energy into it. And then a year later, after consistently putting your energy into those things and your time into those things, you have a positive outcome because of that. Like you go to the gym for a year consistently. At the end of the year, you're going to look back on that time that you spent and be like, I'm so glad I did that. Now, there is something I think about a lot, right? Where, like, when you go out drinking and stuff, it is fun, right? It is fun. And sometimes you do make amazing memories that you think back to and laugh about. But you've got to, like, think of the grand scheme of things. Like, you can either have these experiences that genuinely contribute to you becoming a more unhealthy overall person, or you can think about doing the good habits and putting in the work so you become a better person in the future. Now, if you're scared of missing out on good experiences, you gotta understand that there is healthy ways to have good experiences that don't result in you getting a fucking belly when you're 23 and then never being able to lose it because you've ruined your metabolism. So you're just fat forever until you finally have a midlife crisis when you're like 42, divorce the fat fucking wife that you've got, and you get into the gym. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from, but I forgot what I was saying now, man. um, yeah, you can't have healthy experiences. Like I want to go on a hike, right? I really want to go on a hike, and I want to go with people because like you're doing something that's challenging, that's healthy because you're literally exercising, and it's a good experience because you'll be laughing, telling jokes, probably listening to music on the way up, and it's also like you get the beautiful views. Like, that's a good experience. That's way better than clubbing. That's way better than drinking. Speaking to random retards that you don't even care about. Trying to sleep with some random girl that's probably full of STDs. Like, that sounds toxic, but I don't care. It's true. It's true. Right? There's nothing good about clubbing. Every time I've gone, I've always just thought, like, what is this? What is the point of this? Like, it's been fun though as well. I'm not denying that it isn't fun because it is. Right? It's fun, but it's like it's that type of fun that you just think it's like toxic fun. Do you know what I mean? It's like degenerate fun. It's like sleeping around feels fun until you've done it that much that you feel numb and you're struggling to get into a relationship now because you've fried your ability to make genuine connections because you're just constantly thinking about the next girl, the next girl, the next girl. It feels fun in the moment, but after a while, you've damaged yourself. Whereas, like I say, if you go into you do the good stuff, like you do good habits, like going to the gym or working on your business or working in a good career that you actually care about or something like that, right? That often doesn't feel good in the moment. Like sometimes going to the gym sucks. Like you wake up and you just, or let's say you go after like work or something, whatever time you go. Before you go, you just sometimes you just feel like can't be asked. There's different if you go to the gym, you'll have periods where you're very motivated to do it, and then you'll have a lot of periods where you just like can't be bothered. You just don't even want to go. So I'm tired of the gym. I don't even want to go. But then you go, and you always feel better after. I genuinely always feel better after going to the gym. I don't think there's ever been a day where I felt worse because I went to the gym. That's crazy to think about. I guarantee that you will know times where you've been out and you felt worse after it because you're hungover. Or you wake up next to some girl, you just think, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Or you did something stupid when you were drunk. You texted someone you knew you shouldn't have texted. Or you just said some shit. Or flirted with some random person. Do you know what I mean? There's so many times where you'll have regrets from doing those things, but you'll never regret going to the gym. You'll never regret working in a business, even if it fails, which happened to me, by the way. My business failed awfully because I fucked it up. It was going so well, man. I was so close to being able to quit my job and go all in, and I fucked it up. I messed it up last minute to the point where I almost had to close it down because it was crazy. It was going up and up and up and up. I was about to sign this new client, and then instead of signing that client, I lost all my clients and it went down, and I was in debt because I invested in my other business, my clothing brand. And the clothing brand investment was going to be covered by my marketing business, which I was like, oh, I've got this new client. They've not paid me yet, but I start next week. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to cover this investment. I'm going to take a risk, invested in my brand, lost all the clients. I still was working my job, but I'd already dropped my shifts. So for the next few months, because I'd already wiped my bank account out, right? Because I was being stupid and investing in my brand way too much. And I also had this girl that I was dating, which I ended up spending on £700 in 10 days because I was a fucking idiot. I don't even know why I did that. I was paying for so many Ubers and hotels and just stupid, man. But anyway, I made so many poor decisions that just crippled my business, and I still don't regret it because the stuff I learned, I actually assigned clients to a business. I'm a college dropout. I signed clients to a business with no business experience. Literally, I learned business from YouTube videos and books, and I managed to sign clients, and I actually delivered results to them, like crazy results to them clients. And I can now take those results as proof to sign new clients, which next week I'm going to go out prospecting and hopefully sign new clients. Anyway, this video is kind of turning into some ramble, but the point of it is there is a gap, and you want to be on the better side of the gap. You want to be on the gap where you don't look back on your life and regret it, or you get to the age of 30 and look back on your 20s and wish you were 20 again. Now you'll look back on your 20s and be grateful that you put in the work, that you achieved the physique, that you didn't get fat, that you didn't get date some woman you don't even like, but you just think, oh, I should settle with her because she's nice. What is going on outside? Anyway, you don't keep these retard friends in your life that you don't even really like. You just sort of have fun when you go out, but you don't really talk to. You don't talk to about life. You just fucking act like idiots together, and it's funny, but you're not genuine friends. You're just friends with the activity that you do together, which may be drinking or doing drugs or whatever it is. But outside of that, you don't really speak. You just sort of send each other reels, and it's not even friendship really. But anyway, you don't want to go through that path. You want to go down the better path of self-improvement, where you just go up and up and up over time, and genuinely the fun you have when you look back and you can compare yourself to the younger version of you from a year ago, and you look at all this progress you've made and you just feel happy to be yourself, because look at all the positive changes you've made in your life. Look at all the progress you've made. It's so bliss. It's so wow, I did that. You know what I mean? I signed the clients. I achieved a better physique. I became more confident. I used to make videos when I was younger, right? And I could not speak properly on camera because I was just so timid and scared of saying things. I don't care anymore. I know what I believe in. I know what I have done in my life. I know who I am now, and I know what I'm capable of. And I'm going to keep going and keep persevering and keep improving my life. And I'm excited to see where I end up, and I hope you go down the same path, and I hope you end up on the other side of the gap, because it's horrible being on the negative side of the gap, because a gap forever grows as well. It forever grows. You might get to the age of 50, right, and look at the people you went to high school with. Some are dead. Some are in horrible positions, like it's ridiculous amount of debt. Some are like, and then you get the few who are like jacked, rich, and you just think, whoa, like look at my life compared to theirs. Like the gap just continues to grow. You want to be on the other side of the gap, not to compare to these people, but for yourself. You don't want to live that kind of life. No one does. So make the most of your youth, as I am doing. All right, use me as proof that there is a gap. That doesn't make sense. You can't really use me as proof. Use this video as motivation. Like I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. Just make sure you don't go down that path. Be on the positive side of the male gap. It's also in females too. Men. It don't matter. The male gap and the female gap, person gap, people. There's a gap in people basically as you age. It's common sense. Obviously there is, but nobody really considers it until you actually improve yourself. Then you see it. If you don't improve yourself, you don't see it because you're likely not hanging around with people who are improving themselves either. Whereas when you improve yourself, you're hanging around with people who are improving themselves as well. And then when you see other people, you just see the gap. You see it. It's crazy, man. Yeah, that's everything for this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be pumping out more videos to try and help people improve their lives just as I have. And I'm giving advice to people, motivating them. I'm just teaching what I've learned. I know I'm only 20 and people will assume that I don't have life experience, but I've been through quite a bit in my life already. And I think the experience I do have is very valuable, especially to young people. So I would love to serve as a role model to younger people to help them get on the right path, because I think that's one thing our generation is definitely missing, is some sort of like guidance and put someone to like look up to, because a lot of young people don't have positive mentors, so they end up going down the wrong path and feeling lost for a while, and then eventually getting to the age of like 20 odd where they finally turn their life around. But I don't want you to turn your life around like 28 or like 35 when you have a midlife crisis, because that's what a midlife crisis is, by the way. It's when you go down the wrong path for so long and you just become so hyper aware that you can't ignore it anymore, and then you flip your life around. I don't want that for you. I want you to have a midlife crisis now and change your life now before you already have so many regrets later. So yeah, that's everything for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Ka-chow. Ka-chow. I think that's going to be my new catchphrase now.